Hey, it's Rachel from the Life Facilitator, and I am going to do a little hack to my simple Dori for September. I have been playing around with the positivity passport style of documenting for um, most of July and then part of August. And so I love this size, it's so cute. And so I'm going to somewhat recreate that with the September Simple Dory, although I am going to size it up just a little bit. It's going to be more A6 size than passport size. So what I'm showing you here is I have taken out the pages from the Simple Dory that I don't want to trim down because I like the elements as is. And now I'm going to trim the rest of the pages down to roughly, and I do mean roughly, it's not exactly 4 by 6. It's more like, yeah, it's like a little under 6 and a little over 4, which is roughly A6 size. So I've started by cutting the vertical, the longer side, and then to trim the side, my trick is to I put it where I want it to go, and then I will trim half of the insert, flip it over, and then trim the other half. And the reason I do this is because my paper trimmer will not cut through all of the pages of the insert at the same time. But if I want it to be a clean edge, this is the best way I have found to do it. There are lots of other ways to do it. It's just this is what works for me. And so I'm going to cut the cover, and I had originally planned on keeping the cover with the Simple Dory, but I actually am going to do something a little bit different. And I'm going to make a pocket out of the cover, the craft cover. And so to do that, I am going to, well, first I'm going to put the Simple Dory in my just absolutely adorable pocket size Webster's Pages Traveler's Notebook. These Traveler's Notebooks are so great because they fit passport size, pocket size, and A6 size. You can see my little A6 insert takes up most of the cover, which is fine with me. But I just love this little cover because it can fit so many different size, little smaller Traveler's Notebook inserts. And so what I am showing you here is that part of the reason I like the trimmed down Simple Dory is because I like the scale of it as it relates to 3x4 cards and 2x3 cards, which is usually what I'm using in a Simple Dory. I try to, my Simple Dories end up often, and July is the only exception, but they often end up being the insert where my misfit photos go. So, like the photos that didn't fit in my memory planner. And so, this size works a little bit better with the 2x3 size photos that I typically print for my memory planner. So, now I'm building my pocket here. And how I make the pocket is you saw me use my bone folder to score a couple of flaps, and then trim the corners, and then and now I'm adding double-sided adhesive. This adhesive is thin, really like a really thin strip, and it's from scrapbook.com. Yeah, so I attempt to put down that side first, and then I go back to doing the bottom first. And I there are a lot of ways to make pockets, and this one worked really well because I had that extra scrap um, from when I cut the cover down. So I've showed you quickly the finished version. I did the exact same thing on the other side of the folder, so I didn't feel like I needed to show you it twice. And then now I'm just decorating it. So I'm using some of the washi from the September solstice, Cocoa Daisy Solstice kit, and using some of the die cuts to just add a little decoration. And I get quite a few of the kits because I am on the memory keeping and planner team. And so I am never at a loss. How am I trying to say this? I have a lot of die cuts to work with. And so I like to sort of put them in all of my projects so that they get used. And so here I'm looking, I had the idea to make little stars, and I have a white gel pen here, and it is just straight up out of ink, or just not working. I don't know what I've done to it. I keep looking at it because it has ink in it, and I don't know why it's not working. So then I try a white pencil, and that works pretty well. I really needed to sharpen the pencil, but I didn't know where the sharpener was, and so I just kept going. And then I thought, well, I really would like to do like stardust as well. And so I go and grab some white paint and add a little bit of white paint over the stars, one, to make them a little bolder. And then I will go in and add some little white speckles, stardust type deal, partly to have the die cut sort of blend a little more with the craft paper, and plus, like, anything white on craft paper looks so good. And so I wanted to take advantage of the craft paper, and plus it's just fun to play with paint. I don't do it nearly enough, and I should probably do it more, especially like in a low stakes creative endeavor like this one, where I'm just, decorating a pocket. This is a fun place to play around with decorating, just because it's just a pocket. And so adding those little speckles, I could have done like a flicking effect, but I just thought I would do the painted dots instead. Now I'm going to do my favorite thing, which is decorating the pockets of this little Traveler's Notebook cover. I'm going to make a tag, and I'm going to make it to be roughly 2 inches across so that it's going to fit in that little pocket. And then I will use the other tag to make my corners. I am exceptionally bad at making corners on tags, like to make them even. So I always use a guide because I tend to make them wonky if I don't. I'm going to pull one of the hole reinforcers from the planner kit and add that to the middle, which is just such a fun use of those. If you're not in a ring bound planner, you can always use those hole reinforcers on tags. Now I'm going to decorate the tag, and I'm going to pull one of those little floral embellishments and then trim off so that it will still fit in the little pocket. And then I will add a little die cut sentiment that says love, stick the other tag behind it, and then another floral embellishment. And my trick for having things stick in the pockets is I use just a little bit of washi tape so that it doesn't fall out of the pocket. Using some of the paper scraps in the bigger secretarial pocket, and just kind of fishing through to see what else I maybe want to use. I will eventually put that floral die cut will actually end up in the back of that secretarial pocket. I'm going to add some of those sticky notes. I love these sticky notes. I think I'm going to end up using all of them this month because they're really cute, and they're really I like the really modern font of them. And if you didn't know, these sticky notes fit really perfectly in the memory planner, in the big happy planner that at least I've been using for memory planning. Those sticky notes fit perfectly in the little boxes. Now I am just decorating my cover a little bit, adding the pocket, and then I'm going to add some of the, actually most of the pocket cards into the pocket so that when I go to work in this simple Dori, I have most of the main materials that I would want right on hand. So the pocket cards are going to be the main source of decoration in this simple Dori. And so yeah, so that's my setup. I'll show some photos of the final result. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much. Bye.